Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. It is now Monday morning. Mauricio Pochettino has not yet been sacked as the manager of Chelsea. I'm not just gonna tune in here, turn on the camera, make a video, upload it to you lot and be like, I can't believe that the board is so slow. They haven't got this done. We've really got to dig into this one. I don't think it is entirely Pochettino's fault that Chelsea, in the past 4 days, went from being a team that were only a couple of points away from a Europa League spot to conceding 8 goals, being humiliated at Anfield, one of the worst Chelsea displays against Liverpool that you can remember, and then the capitulation, the catastrophe, the disaster, the humiliation, and to be quite honest, the humbling that Wolverhampton Wanderers, of all clubs, gave us at Stamford Bridge last night. As a result, it has sparked outrage amongst the fan base. I think when you lose to a team like Liverpool, you're always going to have those like devil's advocate, white knight fans who are a bit like, oh, but come on, it's Liverpool. No one's gone to Anfield and won. What did you really expect? Give them a break. Come on. Even those guys now are being like, all right, hold fire. We've just lost at home to Wolverhampton bloody Wanderers. Wolves are battering us now at Stamford Bridge. You've got players running around like headless chickens. You've got players' wives. Belle Silva has gone onto social media. If you don't know, Belle Silva is Thiago Silva's wife. I know that the maths there really isn't that difficult, but if you didn't know, Belle Silva is basically saying how if we don't change it now, it's going to be too late. And of course, it's referring to the manager. Belle Silva knows that it's the Chelsea board, it's the Chelsea owners that make sure that Thiago Silva gets that cheeky little packet of wages that he receives every single month. So, Belle Silva knows as much as we do that despite all of the mess that is currently around the club, the one solution that can be given from the club in order to try and salvage and change something is to fire the manager. Now, there's a few questions here that I've got written down, and I would love to know your thoughts on the answers, or your answers to these questions in the comments down below. If not Poch, then who? Can he turn it around? Was he ever good enough? And to be quite honest, in order for me to answer these questions, we need to really honestly reflect on the situation, be it Pochettino orientated, or just the club in general. When Todd Boehly, Clear Lake Capital, Behdad Eghbali, all of these guys, there is a massive group of people that are basically, within a hierarchy, important at Chelsea Football Club. It isn't just Roman Abramovich who was the face, but also the funding and everything. When Chelsea needed money injected, Roman injected the money. Roman Abramovich was everything to Chelsea Football Club. Whereas this American-based consortium that have taken over our club now, there are more stakeholders involved here. So you've got to please more people. You've got to educate more people because these aren't football guys. And when I say football, I'm sorry, Americans, but I'm talking about football. All right? Proper English football. So there's that needs to be educated. You've also got, there's a book that I've read, and I suggest you guys read it too if you're into reading. It's by Neil Donald Walsh. And it's called When Everything Changes, Change Everything. What these owners did, they read that bloody book. They changed absolutely everything despite not having any knowledge about the field in which they were changing everything in. It's like being an alien and arriving on Earth and not understanding that when you unscrew a light bulb because it's run out of light and you screw a new one in, you don't go and dunk it in liquid acid beforehand and then screw it in and expect it to work. That's basically what these Chelsea owners have done. They have hired sporting directors that they kind of read on the internet or jumped on the phone and had a little cheeky one like, do you like oat milk, mate? Oh, you do? All right, you can work in my office. That's kind of the way this has all come together. So when it comes to sacking Pochettino, in my opinion, if this is the right decision to sack Pochettino, then it has to also come by sacking Lawrence Stewart and sacking Paul Winstanley in the exact same sentence, conversation, paragraph, email, phone call, group chat, whatever it may be. If Poch goes, then those two go. Because it was Wyn Stanley and Lawrence Stewart that came into Chelsea and were like, all right, cool, we're going to experiment. We're going to change everything. We want to run this club differently. Right, okay, let's get Graham Potter in there. The bloke who's been at Brighton, done really well, project manager, he's going to say yes to everything that we tell him to do. He's going to shut his mouth. We're going to give him a load of players. And then surely, because we're Chelsea and we're spending money and we're already up there, surely then we're going to get results and we're going to be good, and don't worry about it because we're getting results. The fans won't mind too much. No, we're not hiring and firing managers anymore. Lo and behold, we're into the season. We're not even 2/3 of the way through it, basically 2/3, and Potter is fired. Lampard comes in, PR move, classic American sports owner, PR move. All right, cool, that didn't work, let's move. Pochettino, the saviour, the light at the end of the flipping tunnel. But once again, all of the due diligence that was reportedly done, when it came to who was going to be that next Chelsea manager, it was a, what was the word? Rigorous process? That's what we were led to believe. It was a rigorous process of multiple candidates, and we want to ensure that whoever that is, it's going to be the right one, sunshine. It wasn't the right one, was it? Let's be honest. We bought a bunch of players, and this is where I feel sorry for Poch. Gave them to Pochettino, even if they weren't the ones that he wanted. And he's like, right, mate, you're Mr. Plan A. We like your attacking football. Go and make it work. The season's been going on and it's been like, ooh, I don't know. Everyone's kind of shrugging their shoulders and looking at the next person. Meanwhile, it's got to a point where the fans have lost patience with everything. I don't recognise Chelsea anymore. I posted on my Instagram with a picture of me sat in a box overlooking Stamford Bridge, and I'm like, I do not recognise my football club anymore. When it gets to a point where Chelsea fans at our home at Stamford Bridge are responding to chants from the away fans who are saying that we are shite, and we are singing it back to them in agreement, that is when you know that A, the manager who's there right now at the point where this game's being played, untenable. He cannot stay. B, we need to go back to that book again. When everything changes, change everything. And at this point, we have to understand it was a failed experiment that was then attempted rectification by another experiment that failed. The definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting different results if something's not great. We're insane if we think that right now, the sporting directors who hired Pochettino to band-aid and solve the issue that was the failure of Graham Potter and Lampard in the first season of the ownership. If you think that the current sporting people, or just people in general, at this football club above Pochettino are absolutely capable of solving that problem right now, then that is as big of an issue as anything. The people that are making the sporting decisions at Chelsea are the issue. There's no such thing, from what I have seen in the 2 years or so that this new ownership have been there, all of these promises about like the data-driven approach to the way that Chelsea would be signing players. You know, only Cole Palmer and Petrovic, off the top of my head so far, are proving to be worthy signings. It's absolutely insane that we are in the position that we're in right now. So, I think the only option here is for the two people, Todd Boehly, who's the face, Bedad Egbali, who is reportedly the main man. He is the guy that oversees the executive decisions, and whatever everyone else says, it's got to go through Bedad Egbali before it gets ticked off and sanctioned. What these guys have got to do right now is just simply hold their hands up and admit that so far, every decision they have made, which has been an uneducated decision, has gone wrong, has put this club in the abyss, in the darkest place that we have been in my lifetime, most likely. And I was born in '94. And obviously, as I get older, my knowledge of Chelsea history grows. But like, this really is dark. Fans are singing against us in our own stadium. We are trying to be ran differently. We are trying to not be that hiring, firing club because we've gone through every manager under the sun. But yet we have to do it again, because when those decisions are made to employ the right guy, due diligence. Read up the dictionary definition of what that means and try and justify that the people, the sporting guys at this club have done that so far. It's absolutely outrageous. And I bring it back to the 3 questions that I asked you guys to answer for me in the comments down below. I'll give you my top end for all of them. If not Pochettino, then who? Do you know what? I'll throw this one out there. I wouldn't mind Mourinho until the end of the season. Bring a proper Chelsea bloke back in there and give us a chance in a cup final. Let's let Mourinho come between now and May, just on an interim basis while we figure it out. Win us a cup, will give us a great chance to against Liverpool, and then we'll see. John Terry can be his assistant, whatever it needs to be. In terms of the long term, the honest truth for my answer here is I don't know who's going to want this job. I really don't. I've seen people today saying that Behdad Eghbali wants Xabi Alonso. Look, Xabi Alonso could probably go to Liverpool in the summer. He's currently unbeaten in the Bundesliga, playing incredible football for Leverkusen. Do you honestly think Xabi Alonso is giving that up to join us? Absolutely categorically not. And other than him, I really don't know. That's the thing. If not Poch, then who? I just think that Pochettino isn't doing things himself to change anything. Pochettino is literally just ticking over at this point, looking to get sacked, in my opinion, so that he gets a massive payday. That's honestly what I think, because he doesn't change things enough. You know, even I've got a solution that I made a video on that's not been seen before, so try that. Everything else up until this point has not worked. So try something brand new. Get rid of these average wingers and don't play them. Even I, an uneducated, not even university degree bloke, even I've got new ideas. Something a bit different. Do you know what I mean? Can he turn it around? No. He absolutely cannot turn it around for all of the reasons that I've mentioned in this video today. It's too late. The fans at the bridge, the match-going fans have turned. The results have got so bad we're conceding 4 goals to Wolves at home. We have lost more than we've won. We've conceded more than we've scored. We have made no progress. And it's getting darker. It's getting worse. I don't think he can turn this around. Was he ever good enough in the first place? Maybe not. Absolutely maybe not. When I first heard, absolutely maybe not. All right, that's good English, mate. When I first heard that it was Pochettino, you guys know, I was sceptical because of the Spurs link. I didn't want a Spurs gaffer in my dugout. And unfortunately, when you don't succeed, you're always looked at by me as a Spurs gaffer. So maybe he wasn't good enough in the first place. I was hanging on to the idea that we'd recruited young players that were really, really good. So all we needed was like a manager to act like the glue to piece them and put them together. Poch hasn't been that whatsoever. Yes, he's had some unfortunate things like injuries that haven't helped him on that journey to try and piece things together, but boy, oh boy, have I seen enough to tell you lot that we were better than this under Graham Potter. And apparently he was the worst thing since sliced bread. I don't know if it was a fact his name was Graham, he was from Stoke and his surname was replicative of that of a Harry Potter film that we've all watched. And Pochettino's Argentinian and the name sounds a bit more exotic, so maybe he doesn't get the same stick, but come on. We're worse now. We're worse now than we were under him. So, yeah, it's time to go. It really is. And I'm very surprised that I'm hearing rumours today that he's still all right. Look, the season's gone. We got a cup final. If that's what's important to Chelsea and everyone's like, yeah, but we don't want to disrupt the apple cart now. No, disrupting the apple cart will help now because the players aren't trying. The players don't care. We saw that yesterday against Wolves. It's trash. We are utter trash from head to toe. So as I said within this video, Todd Boehly, clip Behdad Eghbali, get rid of your sporting directors that hired this bloke in the first place. Do a triple sacking right now. Get the job done. Take a bit of time to hire the right sporting directors to start this experiment again. Draw the line under it. 2 years of trash. Try and save it now before we bury ourselves even deeper. Interim till the end of the season. Make it Jose. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Come on, you Blues.